30. That is the number of kidnapped victims that have been released to the Katsina state government, bringing to 45 the number of persons released so far by the bandits as the ongoing peace deal enters its third week. Addressing the returnees, Governor Aminu Masari assured them that government will continue to persuade the bandits to release all those still in captivity.
As the ongoing peace deal between the Katsina state government and repentant bandits enters its third week, another set of 30 victims of kidnapping, mostly women and children, have been released by the abductors. Among the victims is a 52-year-old married woman, Zinatu Sani, from Kankara local government area. Zinatu, while narrating her ordeal in local language, stressed that she was picked from her matrimonial home with two of her children.
Muka hito Allah ya sa muka samu waɗanda suka yi mana hanya Allah ya hido mu wannan wuri kwanan mu 55 a wurin muna samu abinci amma dai ba daɗi daga ruwa sai gishiri haka nan muke cin shi.
These victims of kidnap are reported to have been sleeping without a roof on their head, no matter the rains or heat during the day. Addressing the victims, Governor Aminu Masari reassures them that the state government will continue to persuade the suspected bandits to release more of the kidnapped people until everyone in captivity is freed. He directs the victims to be taken to the hospital for checkup before reuniting them with their families. He announced that the state government had equally released 20 suspected bandits earlier apprehended and detained by security operatives in Katsina, Kaduna and Kano states to ensure speedy release of the remaining captives in the custody of the kidnappers.
In continuation of our peace efforts in trying to rescue our people that have been under captivity for a very long time. And we will continue the process until all the people from Katsina State and those that our hands can reach are being freed from the bandits' detention camps.
Although these kidnapped victims claim to have left several others behind in the grip of the abductors, it is reported that no fewer than 40 Katsina residents are still in the bandits' nets.
And in Taraba State, the state government says it is committed to finding lasting solution to the persistent clashes between the Chief and Junkum people. To achieve this, the government has continued to build on the recent meeting between the governors of Benue and Taraba States in the nation's capital. After a closed security meeting in the state capital, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Haruna Manu, explained some of the measures being put in place to achieve peace in the communities.
We have resolved that a committee will be set off beginning from Monday. We'll start meeting 15 people from the Jukun side and then 15 from the Tif side. We'll start meeting with them so that we can find solution, because we believe that these two tribes have been living together peacefully, and we believe that they will continue to be living peacefully. That is one. Another issue that was discussed at the security meeting is the issue of kidnapping and the banditry. As a result of the meeting decided and then took decision that a committee, a joint patrol team will be set off involving all the security agencies in the state. And the meeting too have decided that there will be some dedicated lines so that citizens of Taraba State will be able to, if anybody is in distress, will be able to call that number, and then the security agencies will be able to respond as quickly as possible. Another issue we discussed at the security meeting is the issue of the boundary issue, because we believe that once we solve the issue of the boundary between Benue and Taraba State, we will reduce minimally, we will reduce the conflict, we will reduce the issue of banditry, will reduce the issue of kidnapping.
Staying with security, the Enugu state government has reaffirmed its commitment to the security of lives and property of its citizens and enhancing security operations at the community level. The state has in recent times experienced some pockets of crime, with residents calling for more decisive action to nip the rising challenge in the bud.
With an estimated population of 5 million people living in the city center and across its 17 local government areas, Enugu State has recently recorded pockets of criminal activities. This security concern is the reason for these new military checkpoints along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Express Road. The government also supervised the clearing of the bush along the road to ensure visibility and to expose bandits' hideouts. The new Commissioner of Police and the heads of other security agencies have also embarked on identifying dark spots in the state with a commitment to do more in ensuring the safety of citizens.
We will police everywhere, secure everywhere, and fish out the hoodlums and then prosecute them so that the state will move forward. We are working in synergy. The area of competition among security agencies is history now.
Part of his secondary role is to provide military assistance to the civil authority, and this has come in form of internal security operation. And we are assisting the civil police in restoring law and order, and also in maintenance of law and order.
With the newly procured 360 vehicles now available to the Nigerian Army, the police, the DSS and other security agencies, the government believes it is ready to tackle this challenge.
The days of security challenges are over, and the determination of the governor to buy these vehicles, to distribute it to all these forest guards and to neighborhood watch groups in every ward is a testimony to the fact that government means business. And I want to tell our people, they can go home and sleep because government is awake to their needs, to their responsibility.
With the employment of 1,700 forest guards, the Security Trust Fund to be established, residents are optimistic they can go about their business without fear of attack or intimidation.
The ongoing joint task force operation across 4 geopolitical zones in the country may have been extended beyond the 28 days earlier announced for the duration of the exercise, and that's according to the National Security Advisor, retired Major General Babagana Monguno. The NSA told journalists in Lagos that the exercise, which has led to the closure of some of the country's borders, will continue until the set objectives are achieved.
Activities at the semi-border area before the commencement of the Joint Border Task Force operations on the 21st of August. At the takeoff of the exercise, passing through the western borders was almost impossible, which over time became less stringent. The exercise is also said to be yielding results. About 100 illegal migrants and 117 suspected smugglers have been arrested, while 8,360 50-kilogram bags of parboiled foreign rice were impounded, among other seized items. For those already doing a countdown to the end of the exercise, the man leading the operation has a word for them.
There's no definite date or time that will conclude this exercise. When we start seeing positive results, basic motivation in this exercise is to free the country as much as possible from the activities of criminals, from smugglers, and then at the same time to also secure the livelihood and also to enhance the economy. The issue of insecurity has been gravitated not just towards issues of terrorism, but the activities of smugglers and the type of things that they smuggle. And these activities are really not very visible to the majority of Nigerians.
General Monguno believes curbing the cross-border challenge should be in collaboration with countries bordering Nigeria.
We must extract some form of cooperation and collaboration with our neighbors us. It may be unpleasant for them, but ultimately we owe a duty to the people of Nigeria to protect them and to secure the international borders, both maritime as well as land borders.
One of the countries sharing a border with Nigeria, Niger, also recently pronounced a ban on rice import from its borders. Nigerians can only hope that at the end of this exercise, whatever gains that may have been recorded will be sustained.
Nigeria's capacity to effectively respond to marine oil spill and protect her coastal resources may have been strengthened as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, and the National Oil Spill Detection and Regulatory Agency, NOSTRA, collaborate for an oil spill liability and compensation session. The event is meant to keep participants abreast of requirements of assessing the International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund, to which Nigeria is a member country. Our correspondent Chris Illems has this report.
The devastating impact of oil spills on the environment, health, and livelihood of urban and rural communities cannot be overemphasized, as it leads to loss of lives and biodiversity, destruction of habitat, as well as the depletion of national revenue base. When spills occur, the need for damage assessment, liability, and compensation arises. For this reason, a collaboration between Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency NIMASA and the National Oil Detection and Regulatory Agency NOSTRA has thrown up a session to help victims as well as national authorities understand the scope and implementation of the International Maritime Organization conventions related to liability and compensation.
Nigeria is very much committed to the elimination of conditions that lead to oil pollution, as we are very mindful of its devastating impact on the environment. Our key strategy is to raise the level of awareness on pollution matters and assist players in the sector to comply with environmental laws, regulations, and guidelines.
While oil pollution may result from oil theft, illegal bunkering, and militant activities locally, those are outside the scope catered to by the International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund, where government, shipowners, and oil industry are brought together to protect victims of oil pollution.
Some incidents do occur offshore, and with the increased interest of oil industry operators to pursue exploration and production in the deep offshore, there is the need for development of capacity to deal with challenges that may be presented by oil spills in the marine environment.
Though Nigeria is one of the 115 member states of the 1992 fund, the technicalities, complexities, and challenges of assessing the funds are fundamental to getting compensated.
It's really important to understand that it's made by IMO to protect its member countries, and Nigeria is being one of them. So it's really to fully understand how this convention could protect the environment and the people of Nigeria when it comes to an oil spill.
We'll look at these in a bit more detail now.
This session, which is within the framework of the Global Initiative for West, Central, and Southern Africa, has no doubt communicated good practice in all aspects of spill preparedness and response, drawing expertise from all relevant agencies and organizations. Chris Illems, Channels Television News.